Good morning, everybody. We're back, and it is a beautiful day out. Like, beautiful. You can see I'm out in a t-shirt. It seems like not too long ago I was just freezing out here, and now it's almost getting to the point where a guy could almost jump in the river. Maybe not quite. It's still, the river might be a bit cold, but it's getting there, and it's getting there fast. Anyways, how's the weather where you're at? Where are you from, and how's it there? Is it warming up for you? We've got a few things on the docket for today. Tony's gonna be like this legendary figure of this channel. He's an absolute menace, and he's buying another axe off me. So he wants me to build him a big Wedgebanger, and so that's what we're gonna do. So that's one thing. Another thing, I have to ship out an axe for Buckin, out of Buckin's axe of the day. He sold a Wedgebanger, actually kind of similar to the one I'm building today. So let's check it out. Here's the axe of the day of Buckin's that sold. It's a lovely St. Catharines Kelly 3.5 pound, the new prototype home handle. Designed as a Wedgebanger handle. And I've sent a few of these out. Cody has gotten one of these from me, a Wedgebanger. Sizemore, I made him a Wedgebanger, actually very similar to this one. And Kevin Ham also, I sent him like an HB chopping axe on this handle. And so those are some qualified guys to speak about it, and we're getting really good feedback on them so far. I love them. I don't bang wedges. I'm not, I don't fall trees. I'm not there yet, but I have this little axe here, which is a hand forged. The profile on it is insane, and it is a Wedgebanger. That is, what it is, but I use it as just a good old-fashioned chopping block splitting axe, and it does the business at that. So that's a lovely axe. It's a versatile handle. Like I say, this is, I'd call this a splitting axe because that's what I use it for, and it is amazing for that. Wedgebangers and chopping axes. You can almost throw anything on here, as long as the size and the balance is right. But that's a 4.25 pound head. So it's not a small head on there, but it's got a nice pull and it's balanced. So it works out good on that handle. Anyways, I'm gonna clean this up and get it mailed out. It's Friday today, so I gotta get it out by the end of the day. But yeah, just a lovely axe. And it's very similar to the one I'm working on today for Tony. So we've got this axe here. It's essentially the same axe. St. Catharines Kelly, made in Canada, same as this. This is a 3.5 pound. This is a 4 pound, so a bit bigger. And I was talking to Tony because I said in the last video he looks like a big boy, and he messaged me and he said he's 6'5", 275 pounds. Just this big, strong. I don't know if he played football or what. He looks like a football player. He's a great big strong man, and he needs a great big strong Wedgebanger to boot. So that's the plan. That head right there on Buckin's kind of OG Wedgebanger handle. This is the 30-inch single bit. I mean, I don't think he calls it a Wedgebanger per se anymore because it is a versatile handle. You can a lot of guys like a straight handle when splitting, and it makes a lovely straight-handled splitting axe as well. But because of this palm swell, it's comfortable both ways. It's a straight handle, and I think Tony's been using one of the curved handle axes I sent him. I know he's been using that a bit as a Wedgebanger. I think this will change his mind on that, and I think it's going to work out well for him. Like I say, the toes weren't out on it. They almost all are. I've found a couple that the toe is still, perfect, but it's a rare thing to come by, and you're paying big dollars for those ones. So at any rate, it is a Wedgebanger. And so I'm not going to go crazy. I'm not going to try and, bring this back to here and make it look like a factory edge, We're just not doing that. It is a Wedgebanger. It serves a purpose, and for what he's going to need it for, it's going to work out lovely. So I'll just take a bit just to make it look normal, so to speak, and we'll get to hanging. So that's the plan. Another day, another day building axes, day in the life. I like the look of these unpolished heads quite a bit. I've been experimenting a bit more. When I first started out, you know, I came from a polishing background. I used to polish big trucks, you know, semi-trucks, wheels, tanks, all that kind of stuff. And so I seen the steel and I'm like, you know, turn old to new. It's like grind it all down and polish it to a mirror because, you know, I thought that was cool. And I do still think it's very cool. But these are awesome, you know, the rustic look to them. They're awesome. The polished ones are sweet and I like using them. I like the look of them, but they do get a little dirtier quicker, and something like this can kind of age with time a bit better. So I like doing both now. And today I'll probably go a little more rustic on this Wedgebanger because it is a working tool. Like I say, he is going to use this axe, and I don't want to say abuse it, but he's going to put it to good work. I know Tony a fair bit now, and I don't think he takes days off. I think it's just every day he's at her, dropping trees, you know, bucking them, splitting them. He said he splits 150, 200 cords in his off season. So I don't know a whole lot, but that seems quite impressive. And I think he said 70% of that's by hand. Something like that. So he's a menace. He just is. It's Walker egg. It can almost stand up on its own. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, isn't that funny? I don't know the logic behind it, if there is any, but we'll see if I can stand this up during my whole little spiel. I don't know the logic behind it or if there is any at all, but Buckin's got a rag that he just uses for Watka, and he's like, oh no, I don't wash that thing. Just stays as it is. He hangs it back up. You know, I know it can kind of combust if you have it all bunched up somewhere, but I leave mine hanging up, and you know, it's just funny to me. I don't know. What Buckin says to me regarding making axes is kind of gospel, and even little details like that, that's what I'm gonna do. I take his word. I've strayed away from his word a few times and thought, I don't know about that. Maybe I'll do it this way. I'll do it this way. And a lot of times it doesn't work out quite as good. So he's a knowledgeable man, and he's hung a lot of axes. So he knows a thing or two, that guy. Just a thing or two. Back to its glory. First order of business, I'm gonna sharpen this up. Probably do a little bit of reprofiling. Yeah, just a bit. One of you, I can't remember who it was, I'm terrible with names. One of you recommended I get a sanding belt cleaner to extend the life of my sanding belts. So I went out and got one. And I've never used anything like this before. I think I even got a bit of plastic left on there. Let's see if this rejuvenates it, brings it back to life. I showed you, we took a fair bit there. I don't think I'm gonna go any further than that. Does it still look awkward? I don't know. You let me know. I do like what we got going here. I just gotta go a little bit more. Oh baby, it's coming together nice. It's funny about these heads I get in from Australia, or I mean any head you buy. They're vintage heads. They're gonna be weird. And the center line was just cooked on this thing. That's something I struggled with early on, and you know, even now I struggle with it a bit. It's like, I think what was happening to me is I was sharpening them mostly straight with this straight up and going against the hard surface, and it's like going one way is more comfortable to do this, and then on the other side it's more comfortable to do that. And so what ends up happening is you end up working one side over more than the other, and vice versa on the other side, and you end up kind of kinking it in a way, like your center line. So I don't know if that's what's happening to other people, but it is a hard thing. Sharpening is like, oh my goodness. I feel like I'm getting so much better at it, and I'm not, you know, I'm not Mr. Buy this product right here, right now, but the Combat abrasives, seriously, no sponsorship, no nothing. They've leveled up my game huge, just product alone. At the end of the day, it's not just about the product at all. A master of the file, it can be better than, you know, anything you're doing on a belt grinder. So we're looking really good though. I took a fair bit off the bottom, as you've seen. I think this looks, as far as a Wedgebanger goes, I think this looks nice now. You know, it's definitely, the toe's worn out, and it is, and it always will be. But for a Wedgebanger, I think this looks quite good. And how nice is that? Gives it a nice little shine in the process, while also deburring it. I like it. Step 1, complete. Step 2, clean up this head. It's already fairly clean. You can see the guy that sells me these, he's actually pretty good about it. He's been good to me. He cleans up you know, the poles and everything just a bit. He likes to make sure that there's no cracks or anything like that when he goes to send it to, you know, his customers. So I appreciate that, but I'll just do a little bit of a wire wheel on here. I think it's pretty much good, but I'll just do a bit of a wire wheel and then clean it up, and just in case there's any other rust in there. Kind of gives it a cool look anyways. These corners, they're nice and flush, but they're almost a bit sharp. So I'm just going to hit them on a bit of a 45 and just chamfer those edges a little bit. So you can see the bottom eye is in pretty good shape, but this top eye, it looks like someone bashed in hard on this right side with a hammer. I don't know if that's from like maybe the head's coming loose, and so you try and bash it in to try and like make it tighter. I don't know what that's from, but I'm gonna do some grinding here, and then I'm gonna actually hammer this side in just a little bit because it's kind of mushroomed out now at this point. So I'll hammer that in a little bit, grind down these ridges, and then of course chamfer and clean out the inside on the bottom. Beautiful thing. Alrighty, it's been about 4 hours and I haven't even touched the handle yet, so I don't like that, but we're finally ready to go. Yeah, nice and sharp. Pole looks good. The finish on there is quite nice. Now I'm just gonna hammer it on my test handle and kind of get an idea of how this is gonna sit, how this is gonna wanna sit on its own, and if there's anything I should keep in mind, you know, moving forward. So, Z-test handle goes on there, nicey nice. Oh, damn, that's borderline a haft. Okay, and would you look at that? Okay, it's going left. It's definitely going left. It's going left quite bad, actually. Is it sitting weird? Not necessarily. Oh, that's interesting. Oh yeah, I see. Okay. So it is a little trickier than I first suspected, but that's okay. All right, good to know. All right, this axe is frustrating me so much. It won't sit straight, just isn't sitting straight for me. I've tried quite a few things. I've just been trying to lock in on that and figure it out. But post office is about to close, so I'm gonna go do that, and then I think I'm gonna have to call up the big guns and see what Buckin has to say about this. That guy's an axe hafting wizard. He did some work on it for about 30 seconds and then we banged it on and it's pretty much money. So it is a crooked eye. Like we took another better look at it because I did put it on my test handle and it was going way off. And at first sight, it didn't look that crooked, but it is quite off-centered. I'll try and show you that in a minute here, but we're like 90% there. I'll just try and squeak it a little bit more, give it one last tweak in the vise before I actually go to haft it, and I think it should be just fine. So that's the beauty in working with these old heads. It's never as simple as it seems. It appears that way, but either way, I think I'm going to close up shop now and we'll get back at her first thing tomorrow. While I was over in the bunker, however, able to finesse a couple more handles. So I don't know if anybody's in the market for a 31.5 with a 4.5 pound Tassie on there, but I'll be building them. All right, talk to you tomorrow. So there's the off-center eye. So I've been working that right side as much as I can to kick it over, and we're getting very close. You can see the eye here, the way it was punched. It's shooting off that way quite a bit. So that's the battle, but we'll persevere. We'll get it done. Well, good morning, everybody. We're back. It's a new day, and I'm gonna get started on this axe. I don't have a ton of time today, so I'm just gonna really focus in and just work on getting this axe done. I want to get it out to Tony as soon as I can. I want to get it down a little closer to the shoulder. We're shooting for about a 28-inch axe. We're at 29 inches right now. So I got to squeak it down another inch and still maintain keeping it straight as can be. And then we'll do a little bit of work to this handle. Quick check where we're at right now. Nice coverage all the way around. Just a matter of squeaking it down a bit more. Okay, we've got it 90% there. It is very, very close now. And this is proving to be one of the more challenging eyes I've had to work on so far. I think most people would probably look at this and say it's straight. Unless you've been kind of doing this for a while, you know, there is things to look for. And it's not perfect. But this is about where we had it yesterday, where we were starting to be, you know, happy, all things considered. It's rare you get a perfect, you know, dead centered eye that was punched out of these vintage heads. They all got character, and that's one thing that can be common. But we are quite close. I might pop it off one more time and just see if I can squeak it just a little bit more. 28.25 inches long. Maybe that's a sign. Pop it off one more time. Okay, I get a little compulsive about these axes. Like, I don't like saying I'm a perfectionist. I think that's a little bit corny in a way, but I really strive to do good work. And so just the littlest bit, if it's not, you know, perfectly straight and I can't, you know, if I can pick one thing apart about it, then I'm going to pick it apart and I've been spending hours. I've spent a couple hours now trying to get this thing just perfectly straight. It's honestly 99% there. It was probably good enough 2 hours ago at this point, but you know, it's just the way my brain works, and now I'm ready to put a wedge in it. So let's get at her. Now that is a good wedge. Nice bit of mushrooming around the back. Fully sunk it. I feel real good about that. Tony typically likes the dark stain on his axes, but I'm gonna put the natural on it, and because I think that is gonna look really good on this. So I'm just gonna make the call and do it, and then if he wants to go darker, I'll just restain it. But let's see how this looks. I don't use the natural super often, but it is a very nice change. I mean, come on. I'm just letting that stain do its magic now, that Waka. I've just been letting this soak in and swell up. Seriously, I think this is some of my best work. So super, super happy with how it all came out. And I was sleeping on the straight goods handle. Buckins, you know, his straight goods handle here, I've been sleeping on it big time. It suits these 4 pound, 4 1/4 pound heads just beautifully for a Wedgebanger. Or, I mean, that's a splitting axe over there too. If you wanted to, you can totally use it as a splitting axe. It has the profile for it. So a lot of guys like a straight handle. And I gotta be honest with you, I really like this palm swell. Like, really do. So keep that in mind, ladies and gentlemen. It's a nice handle. Closing up shop now. Had another successful axe, thankfully. It was scaring me there for a while, trying to get it straight and everything. It all came out absolutely lovely. And yeah, couldn't be more pleased. So if you made it to the end of the video, thank you so much for watching, and I love you. All right, bye.